starts right now.
A blood trail near a downtown apartment complex leads police to the body of a man after multiple calls to 911 from neighbors who heard loud gunshots. That body discovered inside an apartment at the Augusta Flats in the 700 block of McCullough near St. Mary's Street. Police say they found the man unresponsive on the floor and noticed he had several gunshot wounds. San Antonio firefighters pronounced that man dead at the scene. Right now, the Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office is working to identify that victim. Detectives say they don't have any suspect information right now, but we're told police are currently working with property managers to try to take a look at some surveillance video. San Antonio police think a woman was caught in the crossfire after a shooting between a suspect and a security guard. That shooting happened in the 9,000 block of Marbach. Officers say the security guard told them a suspect was escorted out of that location. The suspect then came back and began shooting at the building. According to police, the security guard shot back and the suspect drove off with someone in the vehicle. We are told a 26-year-old woman showed up at a nearby hospital later with a gunshot wound, and she was reportedly not cooperating with police. So far, no arrests have been made in that case. The U.S. military has shot down that Chinese balloon off the Carolina coast, the move ending days of speculation about what would happen to the balloon after it entered U.S. airspace. It was spotted first over Montana, home to one of America's 3 nuclear missile silo fields, before heading east. ABC's Phil Lipoff has more as China continues to deny it's spying on sensitive U.S. military sites.
The United States bringing down a Chinese balloon that was traveling across the United States. Earlier today, spotted over parts of North and South Carolina.
I ordered the Pentagon to shoot it down on Wednesday as soon as possible. They decided that the best time to do that was as it got over water outside within the 12-mile limit. They successfully took it down.
In response, the FAA temporarily closing airspace for parts of the 2 states, issuing a statement that reads in part, the FAA has paused departures and arrivals to support the Department of Defense in a national security effort. Despite China claiming it's a civil aircraft blown off course, U.S. officials insist that is not the case.
But the key here is we don't know what it's looking for. Is it taking pictures? Is it doing signals intelligence where it's intercepting communications? But the thing that's perplexing here is that the Chinese have the ability to do these things from space where they wouldn't be violating U.S. sovereignty.
On Friday, Secretary of State Blinken postponing his trip to China set for next week, saying now is not the time to meet.
I made clear that the presence of this surveillance balloon in U.S. airspace is a clear violation of U.S. sovereignty and international law.
The Chinese Foreign Ministry saying, we respect that. Pentagon officials claiming the balloon has a large bay of technology attached underneath it, about the size of 3 buses, adding it was maneuverable. Phil Lipoff, ABC News, New York.
In other news across America tonight, more than 30 fire departments from 3 states responded to this major fire caused by a train derailment in Ohio. Evacuations underway in the town of East Palestine, Ohio, after a freight train went off the tracks there. Other residents who live nearby are being urged to stay home and stay off the roads until the fire is under control. Firefighters from Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia are all joining in the effort to get that blaze under control. The Environmental Protection Agency also monitoring air quality in that area. It's still unknown right now what that train was carrying at the time of derailment. New York City's Mayor Eric Adams spends the night with hundreds of asylum seekers at a migrant homeless shelter. Adams tweeting a photo and videos today showing him with a group at the Brooklyn Cruise Terminal, writing out what he called the coldest night of the year. He says his motivation was to let asylum seekers know, quote, we're all in this together, unquote. He was joined by a homeless advocate, a state lawmaker, and many others. Adams says more than 44,000 asylum seekers have been processed through the city system in nearly a year's time. Back here at home, a benefit was held today to help a member of SAPD's patrol unit. The president of the Thin Blue Line Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club hosted this plate sale for the patrol officer, John Cartinas. He was diagnosed with a condition that is attacking his kidneys. His fellow members of the Thin Blue Line Motorcycle Club jumped in to action and organized today's plate sale. The initial goal was to sell around 600 plates, but family and friends from across Texas came out to offer their support, and they say 700 plates were sold. Cortinas and the president of the club both say what they saw today was heartwarming.
Actually, I'm very humbled by it. There was true true brotherhood that was displayed by my motorcycle group, which is the Thin Blue Line motorcycle.
The support that we got from the community and the other officers and people, friends and family, was overwhelming. So it made this event a great success.
Organizers tell us they raised about $7,000 today. Another event presented by District 5 City Councilwoman is aimed at helping to build a healthier San Antonio. Councilwoman Terry Castillo, along with numerous vendors and nonprofit representatives, on hand for a resource wellness fair at the YMCA over on the west side today. The community responded to the event by coming out in big numbers to learn what is available to them when it comes to all things related to wellness, from housing to health information.
It's important that we provide access to resources, whether that be housing assistance so folks can keep a roof over their head, as well as knowledge about counseling services that are free and available to our community members.
Councilwoman Castillo stressing that all the resources presented today are available to residents of District 5 all year round. A San Antonio tradition continues to draw people from all across the state to participate. Today, the annual Western Heritage Parade and Cattle Drive. We're shaking things up downtown. Alyssa Cole caught up with a junior mounted cavalry group that has a time-honored tradition of its own.
Texas A&M's 70-member Parsons Mounted Cavalry saddled up for Western Heritage Parade and Cattle Run.
This is the troop element, and they're getting their halters and their bridles on. The seniors are putting their sabers on their horses.
These students are part of the only collegiate mounted cavalry unit in the nation. Part of their traditions includes students carrying their well-earned sabers with their horses.
All the seniors, they all have sabers. So at some point, whenever we're passing the reviewing stand, the seniors will pull their sabers out, and then we'll salute.
Hall's partner, Sammy Travis, says the hard work, time, and dedication it takes to be part of the cavalry are all characteristics that represents a lesson in leadership.
You build bonds, you learn horsemanship, and then you learn leadership through that horsemanship.
Hall says one of their goals today is to remind the community of American history.
We have people come from all walks of life, so it's amazing to celebrate the culture within our unit, and then to do that on a larger scale, like at the Western Heritage Parade today.
Alyssa Cole, KSAT 12 News.
It is a record you'll probably never see here in South Texas. The lowest wind chill ever was recently recorded. Find out which places top the list, and you want to avoid them if you don't like the cold. We'll be right back.